Hello guys, welcome to Race Weekend post-race review of 2024 Singapore Grand Prix. What a race we had under the light here in Marina Bay. From the moment the light went out, it was the Lando Norris show. The young Briton converted his pole position into a dominant victory, finishing over 20 seconds clear to Max Verstappen. It was simply sensational performance from Lando. He nailed the start, controlled the pace, and was in a league of his own out front there. You could see the confidence just oozing out of Lando today. From the very first lap, he was sending a message. I'm here, I'm fast, and I'm not going away. He just kept piling on the pressure, lapping consistently, quicker than anyone else, and building up a huge advantage. At one point, he had pulled out a lead of almost 30 seconds. The team had to tell him to ease off a bit towards the end, but even then, he is still had enough in hand to cruise to the checkers flag. It was a real statement drive from Lando, the kind that to go down wonders for his confidence in this title fight. He had some up and down weekend this year, but today he showed the full extent of his talent. He vanished any lingering doubt about his ability to lead from the front, and I think this performance is going to be a huge boost as we head into the final 6 races. And let's not forget his teammate, Oscar Piastri. The young Aussie drove a brilliant race to finish third. Coming from the fifth of the grid, he just kept his head down, managed his tire brilliantly, and then unleashed that fearless overtake ability in the closing stage to pass both Hamilton and Russell. Those bold outside moves are becoming his trademark for Piastri. He quickly established himself as a new king of the late braking maneuvers. Even though Piastri didn't have the pace to match Lando out front, he maximized everything he could. And those valuable points for third place are crucial in the Constructors' Championship battle. With both McLaren drivers firing on all cylinders, they are going to be an incredible tough proposition for the rest of the season. The other big story of the day was Max Verstappen having to settle for second place. Now don't get me wrong, second is still a fantastic result, especially giving Red Bull's struggle here in the past. But the sheer size of the gap to Lando at the finish over 20 seconds will be a real concern for the reigning champion. Verstappen admitted himself that he just couldn't match Lando's pace. There were moments where he sounded a bit rattled on the radio, almost making excuses, which is quite unrealistic for the Dutchman. I wonder if the internal pressure is starting to mount a bit at Red Bull. They know they don't have the fastest car right now, and that's a tough pill to swallow for a team and driver that have been so dominated. And Verstappen's teammate, Checo, really struggled today. He could only manage 10th place after being knocked out at Q2. That's a hugely disappointing result, especially with those next few races coming up that are so crucial for overtaking. Red Bull are going to need Perez firing all cylinders to help take the fight to McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. His lack of performance will be a real worry for the team. Turning to Ferrari, it was a bit of mixed bag for the Scuderia. Charles Leclerc drove a great recovery drive to finish fifth, making some bold moves to climb up the order, but they just couldn't match the outright pace of McLaren. And Carlos Sainz's mistake in qualifying, where he crashed in Q3, really compromised his race. He could only manage 7th. Ferrari are still in the hunt of the Constructors' Championship, but they are a fair way behind McLaren now. Team boss Fred will be pleased with the progress they are making, but they know they have got a work to do now. Catching up to the pace setters is going to be a tough fight to the end of the season. As of Mercedes, it was another tough day at the office for Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Hamilton tried the bold strategy to start on the soft tire, but just couldn't make any real progress. Russell also seems to be lacking pace compared to the car around him. You could see both the drivers really struggling physically towards the end. The heat and humidity here just sapped their energy. Mercedes are a bit in the enigma this season. They have shown flashes of pace, just couldn't seem to put together a complete weekend. The drivers were clearly pushing the car to its limit, but it just didn't have the performance to challenge at the front. They will be hoping for a stronger show in the upcoming race. One driver who did impress though was Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso. A veteran Spaniard brought his car home in 8th place. Once again, demonstrated his incredible ability to extract the maximum from his machineries. Even though the Aston Martin isn't the outright fast car, Alonso just drives the wheel of it, making bold moves and looking utterly at home on the street of Singapore. It must be incredibly frustrating for Alonso, though, to see McLaren and Ferrari pulling away in the Constructors' Championship. He knows he deserves to be fighting at the front. And I'm sure he is desperate to get that Aston Martin car into a position where he can challenge the top teams consistently. And let's not forget the impressive performance of Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas. The veteran German finished a brilliant ninth, once again showing his class and experience around the street of Singapore. Hulkenberg just dug deep, extracted everything he could from the Hans car, and held off the charging Checo at the end. The crowd always loved to see Hulkenberg do well, and today was another example of his talent shining through. It's a shame he is leaving Hans at the end of the year, because performance like this shows he has still got so much to offer in Formula One. Hulkenberg is just one of those drivers that the whole paddock get behind. He's been through so much in his career, but never gives up. One another driver who caught the eye was the young Franco Colapinto in the Williams. The Argentinian rookie put an another impressive display, finishing just outside the points in 11th. His qualifying performance, where he was within a couple of tenths of the highly rated Alex Albon, was particularly noteworthy. Colapinto is really starting to make a name for himself, and I am sure the Williams team will be working hard to try and find him a seat for next season. On the other hand, there is Ricciardo taking his last breath in Formula One and gave a parting gift to Red Bull by snatching the fastest lap from Norris. You won't understand the importance of this move now, but it will be like a butterfly effect, which will cause a stir by the end of the season. So keep an eye on this last move by Honey Badger. So in summary, what an incredible night we have had here in Singapore. Lando Norris taking a dominant victory, cutting Verstappen's title lead, while McLaren extended their advantage in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari and Mercedes had mixed days, while Alonso and Hulkenberg shows the class of a veteran driver, and young guns like Piastri and Colapinto continue to impress. It's shaping up to be a thrilling final to the 2024 season. Join me next time as we head to the United States Grand Prix at Circuit of the America. Until then, keep it logged in right here at Race Weekend. I will see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.